One little piggy packed a gun, one little piggy shot all the others, and now there are none. That's Bullet. Thanks.
Person after person after person who hits the stage is amazing, and I think this is exactly the right moment for Steve Ben Israel.
All right.
Coming soon, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, Steven Seagal, Wesley Snipes, Bruce Willis, Samuel L. Jackson, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, Christopher Walken, and Harvey Keitel in Fuck You!
I've seen it.
Coming this summer, fuck you too!
Mayor Giuliani, how big is Manhattan?
Manhattan is 7 miles of money, sports, culture, and a government keeping it going. It's quality.
But Mayor Giuliani, what is quality?
Manhattan sports and Manhattan culture, internationally known the world over today, every day, and the day after.
But quality, how do we ensure its standards are maintained?
NYPD Blue. Keeps the peace.
Mayor Giuliani, what about Amnesty International's recent report on NYPD abuses?
Miss, who are we here to serve?
The people!
Wrong. The middle class. Pretend I'm not your mayor. Pretend I'm Rudy Giuliani, fan of the Mets. If I was free to speak my mind like an average citizen, do you know what I would say to the Lower East Side? No. Does anybody know? No. Get jobs! Nobody rides for free, you have to pay rent!
Is that why you're gutting this neighborhood like a fish?
That wasn't very objective. If you don't pay rent, the system doesn't work.
You won't accept the rent from ABC No Rio anymore. It's setting us up for eviction. That's not very objective.
What about the CSV Cultural Center? It's in debt! Wasn't paying its rent!
They were paying what they were told to. Suddenly the city turned around and said, whoops, we didn't tell you the right amount. So now you're in arrearage.
Mayor.
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 Arrearage, Mayor.
Arrearage.
Mayor.
I'm not your mayor.
Mayor.
If I was just Rudy, you know what I would say? I don't care. Look at the kind of art these places make. Noise and garbage, please. Paint like Renoir, you know, the girl with the hoop. That's what people come to New York to see. That's what the police are for, to protect us from bad art.
We're willing to play by the rules.
Well, the rules have changed. We need quality now.
What if ABC No Rio owned the body of Peter Stuyvesant?
That is purely hypothetical. Don't pick on Peter. Don't pick on Peter. Don't pick on Peter. He had one leg and an iron fist. Founding father of our city. He rests in a crypt in St. Mark's Church, a quality historical site in this great city, like the tourist Peter Stuyvesant, who will never go near ABC No Rio, like the tourist. He, like me, wants quality.
But Mayor Giuliani, what is quality?
Well, you either got it or you don't. Like welfare reform.
But you said, I'm against welfare reform because welfare reform passes the cost of welfare onto the backs of the cities.
Uh-huh, Mayor.
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 I'm against welfare reform in regards to welfare.
But you're in favor of welfare reform in regards to
Quality. The mayor is a very busy man. It's a busy city. This is a busy place. The police are always ready to get busy. Catch my drift?
Mayor. Mayor. How big is Manhattan?
Wall Street is going condo, Midtown is cleaning up, the Lower East Side is between a rock and a hard place. So understand who I am. No talent, no quality, no break. 3 strikes, and you're out of here.
Todd Colby, Jenny McGuire. A little play called Some Questions. Thank you.
That was Sander Hicks with Jenny McGuire and Todd Colby.
Got involved with ABC No Rio as the tail end of a long involvement with the squatter scene, which has been going on since like 1988 or so. I got involved in serious defense of our neighborhood, which was always a low-income, working-class artist neighborhood that's been being gentrified, slowly but surely. And I got involved in defending the neighborhood in every way I could, which included fighting against the curfew of the Tompkinswood Park, which we succeeded in holding back for 4 years, which I think was a big victory, even though eventually they did put curfew on the park. It closes at midnight now. I helped to support and defend the homeless people who were living in the park, and learned a lot about housing and the lack of it in America. And we just said, like, either give these people housing or leave them alone. And a lot of people in the neighborhood helped the homeless people, and even formed a big circle around them when police came, even though it was symbolic. You know, it showed that we supported them. And I've been involved in a lot of stuff defending the different squats, and there's just been a lot. There have been evictions, I did a campaign to get signatures of different groups, some groups like the Democratic Party clubs, to churches, to what have you, just local tenant support groups. Just getting documents supporting the squats, to help legitimize the squats. I did a conference on housing where I included the squatters as a big part of the conference. And basically just trying, being part of the activism around here. The squats, the neighborhood, keeping it a low-income neighborhood, keeping it a neighborhood that sort of has a sense of caring about poor people, about housing. It's all tied in together. We were involved in a whole campaign basically there was a local housing group, in quotes, really a group that gets grants and takes over buildings, kind of corrupt housing group that had ABC No Rio on its list of buildings that it wanted, and it was going to wipe out. The city was going to use them as an excuse to evict everyone and rehab the building and give it to this group for some housing plan. And the whole plan was ridiculous because there's not very many apartments possible to make out of ABC No Rio. It wouldn't have provided much housing. And then we destroyed this art center. It's been around since 1980, I think. So, some of us, we were just totally determined to do everything we could to save ABC No Rio. And we are street activists, the group that, around it. We'd go out in the street, we'd do civil disobedience, we'd get arrested. We make life uncomfortable for those who are trying to wipe out the culture on the Lower East Side. And I must say, I learned that. I've been around, I've been somewhat liberal since the 60s, but I really learned a lot of my street activism from the squatters and activists around here in the last 10 years, and I got very much into it. So anyway, we formulated a plan, we did that play, we then did a civil disobedience action at the offices of this housing group, which was called African Asian Americans for Equality, and a group that once had been good, that had lost its mission in these right-wing leaning times. It had lost its mission, and it seems to be after money and power. Anyway, we chained ourselves. We got into their office. We chained ourselves to, I've chained myself to a radiator, actually the bottom of the radiator, sitting on the floor, and another person was chained to the door. And we disrupted their office. And they had to call the cops with big giant clippers, and it took a couple of hours, and that was the idea. We wanted to really disrupt them and let them know that we were a determined group of people and they weren't going to take this building. And certainly without going through a very big hassle themselves. And they didn't like that at all. And that got some media, and it was written up in local newspapers. And then we followed that up a week or two later by going to HPD, Housing Preservation Development, the city agency that